Hi, it's Panda Movies here. Today, I'm going to explain the movie called Equilibrium. Warning, there are spoilers ahead. Enjoy the video. Libria, a totalitarian city-state founded by survivors of World War III, blames the war on human passion. Any activity or object that elicits an emotional response is absolutely prohibited. Those who break the law are referred to as sense offenders and are punished to death. To repress emotion, the population is obliged to take a daily injection of Prozium II. The Tetragrammaton Council, led by Father, governs Libria and broadcasts propaganda on huge television screens across the city. The Grammaton Clerics, trained in the martial art of gun kata, are at the height of law enforcement. Clerics routinely invade homes to seek for and destroy prohibited goods such as art, literature, and music, with violators being put to death on the spot. Father and the Tetragrammaton Council are deposed by a resistance movement called the Underground. John Preston is a high-ranking cleric in 2072, and his wife, Viviana, was executed as a sense offender, leaving him a single father with 2 children. Preston notices that his colleague, Errol Partridge, has saved a volume of poems by W. Instead of handing it over to be burned, B. Yeats kept it. He tracks Partridge to the Nether, a euphemism for the city's outskirts, where he discovers him reading the book. Partridge admits he gladly pays the high price of feeling emotion after seeing Preston. Preston murders him as Partridge slowly reaches for his revolver. Preston destroys a daily vial of Prozium by accident and is unable to replace it before the next raid. Short bursts of emotion elicited memories, evoked sensations, and made him more aware of his environment. He deliberately skips extra Prozium dosages, hiding them behind his bathroom mirror. Preston's uncompromising work as a cleric is admired by an ambitious, career-conscious Brant, who replaces Partridge. They apprehend sense offender Mary O'Brien during a raid. Preston, much to Brant's astonishment, stops him from killing O'Brien, stating that she should be kept alive for interrogation. Preston's hesitancy makes Brant suspicious. Preston feels sorrow for killing Partridge, forms an emotional bond with O'Brien, and seeks retribution. He discovers evidence that leads him to Jurgen, the Underground's leader. Jurgen intends to sabotage Prozium production in order to incite a populist rebellion, and Preston is convinced that Father must be slain. Vice Consul DuPont meets with Preston to reveal that a traitor exists within the cleric's senior ranks. Despite the fact that DuPont suspects Preston, he assigns him the responsibility of uncovering the traitor. Preston accepts and vows to find the Underground's leadership, relieved. Meanwhile, O'Brien is scheduled to be executed, and Jurgen recommends against interfering, fearing that it will jeopardize the revolution's goals. Preston, unable to endure her death, tries but fails to stop her execution. Brant arrests him after he has an emotional breakdown and brings him before DuPont. Preston deceives DuPont into thinking Brant is a traitor. Preston is informed that his home would be searched as a formality following Brant's arrest. He hurries home to dispose of the concealed vials, only to find that his kid, who had stopped taking Prozium after his mother died, had already done so. Preston is instructed by Jurgen to capture the leaders of the opposition in order to recover government trust, in the hopes of bringing Preston close enough to assassinate Father. Preston is granted an exclusive appointment with Father, only to learn that Brant was not arrested and that the whole thing was a plot to expose Preston and the Underground. DuPont discloses that he is Father and that he does not need Prozium to suppress feeling, having surreptitiously replaced the original Father who died. Preston is taunted by him, who asks how it feels to betray the Underground. Preston, enraged, fights his way to DuPont's office through an army of security, confronts and murdering Brant in a katana combat. A gun kata showdown ensues between DuPont and Preston. Preston triumphs as DuPont begs for his life, saying, "Is it truly worth the price?" Preston says, "I pay it gladly," and murders DuPont, paying respect to Partridge's final words. He destroys the command center where Father propaganda is transmitted. Preston observes from above, pleased, as the Underground destroys Prozium manufacturing plants, announcing the revolution's start.